Now, before you watch the video on the Ford Escape Hybrid battling it out with the RAV4 Hybrid for a fuel economy challenge, when this initially aired on Motoring TV, we got some feedback. Some people really questioned the fuel economy of the RAV4, thinking that it actually does better than we did in this comparison. Now, some of you might be aware, some of you might not. There is an issue with some RAV4 hybrids with the fuel tank. It will not fill all the way to the very top. And this might have caught us out when we were doing our comparison. So there is a class action lawsuit in the United States, and all you need to do is Google RAV4 hybrid fuel tank issue, and you will see a lot of information on this. So what I think might have happened is when we initially filled the RAV4 hybrid, maybe it didn't fill all the way. And then when we refilled it after our 200-kilometer run, it probably did fill all the way, bringing a discrepancy in the fuel economy numbers. The only thing I can say is using the actual trip computers of the two cars, they were very, very close, and both of them are excellent vehicles. So mechanically, there is nothing wrong with the RAV4 hybrid. Some of them have this fuel filling issue. It doesn't affect the economy, and it certainly doesn't affect the drivability of the vehicle. So there's some feedback. Enjoy the video. Welcome to the show. We did a shout out on Facebook for Motoring TV viewers to tell us what they wanted to see more of, and overwhelmingly, comparisons were high on the list. So we have Andrea back because we're going to compare two family fuel-efficient vehicles.
That's right. We've got the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid and the Ford Escape Hybrid, both excellent sellers in the gasoline model, but we wanted to see how this new Ford Escape Hybrid stacks up against the RAV4 Hybrid.
Now, the interesting thing is when Toyota decided to bring out a hybrid version of RAV4 in their previous generation, it catapulted the RAV4 to the #1 seller in compact utilities. So it's kind of like the underdog taking on the heavyweight champ. What do you think of the RAV4?
Well, the RAV4 is rugged. It has angular lines, creating a real sporty look to it.
I like the looks of this Ford Escape. It's sleeker looking. And the one thing about the RAV4, it sits higher on its wheels, meaning the gap between the wheel well and the wheel is greater. This is a little bit lower, maybe giving it better driving dynamics. Now, a lot of people don't like the look of the Escape. I'm kind of an outlier. I think it looks good and sleek.
Yes, I know you're a big fan of the Escape and the whole exterior look of it, for sure.
You're not totally sold. All right, which one do you want to drive first?
I'm going to take the RAV4, so should we get this show on the road?
Let's go. So Andrea, I'm in the Ford Escape Hybrid. You're in the RAV4. What are you working with under the hood there?
Well, this is the most powerful RAV4 with 219 horsepower. It's got a 2.5-liter four-cylinder matched with the hybrid system.
You know what's interesting? They're almost exactly the same. This too has a 2.5-liter four-cylinder, and both the RAV4 and this Ford Escape, they each have an 88-kilowatt electric motor as the electric component providing electric power. So they're very evenly matched.
We did a hard acceleration, and the RAV4 was clearly the winner, but once you got the Escape up to the speed that you wanted, it was quite an enjoyable drive, and I have to say that it feels like a car.
You know what's interesting is that we mentioned at the beginning that Ford has kind of been out of the game with the hybrid and the Escape. They were the first ones in a compact utility to have it, so they do have a lot of expertise in this area. They've had other sort of hybrid cars, whether it's the Fusion or the C-Max, and you can tell that they're not rookies at this. It does feel well done.
I want to talk about the interior. As for storage, I think they're evenly matched, whether you're looking at the side door storage or the center console. But when it comes to the fit and finish of the interior, the RAV4 wins out. This soft text material, it is a faux leather, it's soft, it's beautiful looking. There's some lovely blue stitching throughout and blue accents on the seats. And that's actually a hybrid exclusive.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I think that this Escape interior is every bit as nice as that. You have some things in this that you don't get in the RAV4. For example, you get the large digital instrument cluster. You also get the big panoramic sunroof. That's not available in the RAV4. I think the seats are very comfortable on this. So I want to drive that. You want to switch?
Yeah, let's switch.
You know what? I had a chance to sit in the back seat of both of them. And, there are slight differences. The headroom might be better in the Escape, but it's pretty much a tie. Like, I would say space-wise, front and second row seats, they're pretty close.
So let's talk about real fuel economy. The Escape actually does better than the RAV4, coming in at 5.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.2 on the highway.
Now, this RAV4 is heavier than the Escape Hybrid, and it does affect fuel economy. This RAV4 is rated at 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.3 on the highway. But as Andrea mentioned, this is quicker. It has more power, and you certainly notice that under acceleration.
Now, before we're done, we should really talk about the price. The Ford Escape Titanium comes in at around $33,000, which is equal to the RAV4 hybrid as well. The one that we're reviewing is the XSE, and it comes in just under $39,000.
This one, though, has the extra package on it, so you add in another $2,300. It's about $1,000 or so less than this. So it's been a very, very good comparison. Similar on size, similar engines and power plants, similar kind of attitude, and very similar fuel economy. So because of that, what we're going to do is on the next show, we're actually going to take both of these vehicles and do a fuel economy run, a real world test, to find out which one's the champion. Well, that's all the time we have. I just want to urge you to follow along, especially on our Facebook page. It's a really good, strong community of people with opinions and comments. And thanks to Andrea for helping me with this comparison. It's been a lot of fun, and we are going to have these two back on the next show for a real world, easy to say, fuel economy test. Now, you get to see something, the big line at the end of the show.
We'll see you next time on Motoring TV, where we tell stories about cars and the people who drive them.
So here's the question. Where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers, but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.